So on this one, I'm going to talk again about the Torizon Core Builder. I'm not trying to show like the boot time this time, so I'm just going to show what it is. This is Plymouth. It runs from the operational user space. It is not in the RAM disk. And after like a couple of, now I'm not trying to show boot time, but now it's run Weston, and then it will run a kiosk device, which shows this amazing company, right? So it's graphically accelerated, and this is like what we see on the container. And there are also other options to see some other things, but what I'm going to show you is basically how this is done. So there are two ways I want to actually talk about it. Let's just see that it's been shared. I think it is. So what I want to show, and I actually did put it like in a repository. It may have a different branch name by the time that you see it, but the idea is this. The idea is that I already showed like how we actually build with Torizon Core Builder. And there are two options here. I want to quickly show you how, actually explain like the customization done to the TC build YAML, because I'm not sure that I've done it before, okay? So here it goes. So we have like the input, which says where we take the image from. So here I take a very specific image. I could alternatively, it would be faster, not download it every time from remote, but instead of like the remote session here, these are like mutually exclusive. Instead of that, I could go and select a local image, whether it is like a weak image generated by Yocto or a folder, which I think I showed in one of like the other videos. So if I want to just use another folder to start with, another tablet to start with, I would do something like that, okay? Instead of remote local, there are several mutually exclusive options. I will also show it for like for what's called the bundle, which helps to take a Docker compose that bundles several containers like Weston and Chromium that you saw in when I used like a webcam to show it. So here we have like customization. Splash screen is used for Plymouth. I mentioned several times that there is currently a bug in either NXP or Toradex implementation. So it doesn't work like it should. You need to disable it in RAM disk, which is something that I do here. I said like arguments, kernel customization, no splash, and the PSG rules is just like another device, okay? So the splash screen is for Plymouth, okay? If I want to put other things like this busybox FB splash that I showed in other videos, and then I showed like faster boot time, then this is not a place to do it. What is important, because I'm using the LVDS, I need to actually enable this device tree. So I need to build a device tree, and this is what the documentation it misleads about it. I don't need only like I don't only need to have like the device tree overlays from here. Like there is like add device. This is the overlay that I need, the mezzanine panel 10-inch to have like the display that I showed you. But I also need to have the kernel itself. So in the device tree, I need to include these from the kernel directory, which is why in the project there are these submodules, but I added a README, and the README actually says like what are your options to populate it. When I do my trainings, the important thing for me is for people to understand the concept, not to just get a script and then, you know, if it doesn't work, hey, who did that? And so for the device tree, these are the include directories to look for. Both are important, okay? So we have here like the overlays that I already mentioned. I just need one of them, but if I add further customizations, I would add each one here. So I could add here, I don't know, like a device blah blah, and then ta 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 ta. If I have like my own DTS here, and then it would compile against the Linux kernel source that is here. This could have been done differently, but no critics here. I'm just saying how things work. These are kernel arguments if you want to customize. I did this because it's noticeable and I explained it about it also. Everything commented out, we can of course ignore it. But so far we covered input, which is here, and customization, which is here. Now for the output, this is actually where image is going to be generated and how. So there are several options. We can create OS3 commit, like if we want. I'm not going to detail it now. Raw image would be something like a wick that could be flashable, okay? Like what you get like from Yocto. Although the Torizon Core Builder, it actually creates the folder for you, or like the tarball for easy installer. So the idea here is that I want to generate an output directory and then serve it as I did in other videos. So on the easy installer, I can select that the output would be like local, like a folder of like my own. I can put other options as well. This is the name that will show on the Tezi, on the Torizon, on the Toradex easy installer. And this is a description that in this particular case, it says exactly what I mentioned. It's the description. So I'm giving you a second like to read it if you want to or if you can. I covered licenses and release notes and accept license and auto install in another video. And I think I also covered auto reboot, but it's very simple. There is like a step for like after installation. If you put this, then it populates like the reboot. It populates the reboot in this file in wrap-up. It just adds here the statement reboot, and this is called, okay? So I'm not covering this here. What I am covering is also the bundle. Now the bundle is interesting and important. Again, you have mutually exclusive options. One of them would be to provide a Docker Compose file, and they're mutually exclusive, so it would need to not be with this. And if this is well defined, you can also define like how to build, what platform, what registry to use if you have something private. Then if you do this, it's just going to create like Docker Compose file, pull the containers, push them and bundle them like into the image. This can be time consuming if the images are not trivial, and I'll cover a couple of Docker Compose files for simplicity. One super trivial and the other that actually uses what is shown in this video. If you do this like time after time, then it's time consuming. What you can do alternatively is turn this off and provide a dir bundle statement that looks, and the bundle would look like this. It will have a Docker Compose file, target name, and a Docker storage that if somebody is interested, I can just go ahead and tell you how it goes. This is going to be populated into the image itself. You know what? Let's just look at it quickly. It's in bundle, Docker storage, tar.exe. So you can see that this is something, I'm not sure if on my host, I did not change like the directory, but it would be, I think var lib docker. So you would have things that look like this, like overlay 2, and then, you know, like those nice digits, okay? So this is what you would have. I can explain you Docker internals, I think I have in the meetups or in conferences, but if somebody actually watches it or cares, I can do it. I know quite a bit about these things. So this is what the storage has, but in addition to it, it has target name. That is not really that important. It will say Docker Compose YAML, and it has the Docker Compose YAML itself. This is the bundle. Let me just remind you. So let me check this out. Bundle Docker Compose YAML, and we can see a file that is generated from a file that I provided. Okay, it will not be exactly the same. I will show you the original file and cover it like more. Just remember that, like you saw it, there are services Chromium that has a command that opens the pscg.com training Android internals. By the way, the Android internals training are updated. I just don't update the site. I just wanted to show something, and then the first demo, like to one of my customers, had like the psd.com, and then I just added another page so that you see it's another example. So I'm not going to cover a Docker Compose format, okay? The important thing is that I'm taking an image from Torizon Chromium IMX8 and from Torizon Weston Touch Calibrator, although it is disabled. Somewhere here I probably disabled it. Here, profiles do not start. There are like the bound mounts that are like important. And there is like the Weston, because the graphical container of Chromium, it requires Weston as it's a display server. So it has like these commits, but I don't build my Docker file like this, okay? So I took the Docker files, and basically what I did, probably somewhere else, I did Torizon. It's not in this one. Torizon Core Builder bundle. And then I gave it like the name of the directory here, okay? So this was the idea, and this is how it created the directory, so I could later use it here. But if I comment it out, it does the same thing, just doesn't store the images, so they're downloaded again and again. So this is like a reusing mechanism. It's exactly the same. Now, how, and this is what I'll do, you know what? Because I already did the one like with the bundle. So I'll let it run on the background, perhaps, because it does take time, and then I will explain. Let's do here, build. So I'll move output directory to another directory, blah. I could, of course, modify it, but never mind. So look at this. If I don't use local, then it fetches it from remotely. It will unpack all kind of things, and then it will write like its object, and then it will prepare the bundle, and this can take quite a while. All right? So just so you be aware of it, it uses DND, it's Docker in Docker, to do like the building, and then it's going to fetch, blah, 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 blah. And I recently filed a bug because the container version, and it is Torizon Core Builder version 3.13, which is the latest. It's broken, and it's going, as per the time of talking, and it's going to break on one of these steps, okay? So it will pull, it will do some things, and will now show you how the Docker files themselves look like. So in the bundle that I have, where I also need to tell it like which Docker Compose file to use, of course. This was one of like the README. So I have containers Docker Compose, Docker Chromium kiosk.yaml. So let me go ahead and look at this for you. But before that, I will show a very simple Docker Compose because it's easier. This one, this is all. The other one is a comment that says what it does. It takes the image from busybox, from Docker Hub, privileged, so that dev fb0 is exposed, and it runs an entry point that just runs like this. I call it broken TV. It cuts random, like in the past when you had like those analogic TVs and the antenna was not connected, and it would show a random noise. Okay, so this is a perfectly valid Docker Compose, and what was generated in the bundle and what is still being built here, I told you it takes some time, okay? Storing container bundle into this, it will take time, okay? So what is done here is as follows. So we have here the Chromium kiosk. So look at this. It's the image is Torizon Weston IMX8, blah, 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 blah. I have here the comments that I wrote. I don't think they go into the target Docker file. And here we have also like Torizon Chromium IMX8 4. Okay. And instead of like the name of the images, you will have something that is generated. Let me just go ahead and look at the bundle. And there are no comments, as you can see here. And it will show you like a SHA-256 and like the commit. And at the end, also there will not be other nodes that I put because I wanted to see how to run without like a Docker Compose, okay? So this is how it's been bundled, okay? If I, you know what, I can just compare them. Let's see. I mean, I know it. I just want to show that I'm not like, okay, they're not, there are a lot of like differences. There are a lot of differences, like white space, stuff like that. Not the best demonstration, but it's the same content. You can be quite sure about it. Look at this. Okay, it changed the order. That's interesting. Yeah, it arranged it by it sorted it. Interesting. I never did this comparison, but I know the Dockers are the same because I've been working with them. So this pretty much covers all of it, okay? It is still working on it, on like the bundling. If the bundling itself fails, so here we see something which is pretty much similar, okay? 1.9, I think it's just about like the size. Let's see how big was the bundle that I did. It does the same command, okay? So yeah, so it does all kind of like intermediate things that it has, right? But look at this. This is already like compressed Docker storage tar.exe. And if we look at this one, then look at this. I mean, it's still like on the works. So it takes time. So this it takes time. Later it will clean up, and then everything like will be good and nice for it. Okay. What we also have here is we have like a search directory. That's not what I had in mind. And this was already deleted. Okay, so the bundle will be deleted, the temp directory as well after working. So this is how it looks like. Now check it out. Like it exported, so it's done with it. Exporting storage, updating the image, combining Torizon OS with Docker container image, and then it will be done. Let's see if I'm quick enough here. I was not quick enough. It already deleted it. Okay, and a build command successfully executed. I will have the target here on this output directory, okay, where I also modify here in this particular case. I did not modify the Toradex Linux PNG. So it shows like their image, but I have this nice script here that will take images from these assets and include the marketing. This is like what you saw in other things. And it will, what's the name of the output directory? It will update this icon. So if I try to open it again, then we'll see another icon. Okay? And also marketing materials. So just to wrap it up, I think this covers more or less all of the important customizations that you want to do with Torizon Core Builder that are not modifying kernel source code or adding modules. Maybe I'll do it later. And I think that if you watch this video and actually work on Toradex products, those that support Torizon, you can find it very, very, very useful. So that is all, and thank you. Try to keep it short. Let's just see that I did not forget anything. Yeah, so this is like the build that I have. Let's see what I put on Git. So the assets is like what I put. This light green is 1280 by 800 resolution here. So I have like the icon that like I created on marketing. I put all kind of like, let's look at it. If you replace whatever is here, it will show like in alphabetical order. You can open it, then put under slide VGA, and then like repackage it. I might have covered it, and I might have not. TCM setup is for the environment setup. You need to use some set opt in order to be able to run TCBN setup from script, but I forgot about it when I was working on it. It's hacked some build script very, very, very fast. It looks like this. These are some checks, some checks, some checks. It's going to source TCBM setup. If I did set up something with aliases, then it would work. I use Torizon Core Builder build, which I just did, and update image with the assets, which I just did. And then to serve the image, if I want, like over the USB, I can use this. So it's like really, really, really nice. And if you encounter this repo, you might see it as well. So yeah, and like for the images list, I just say, hey, this is what you want to serve. So if I reset, I mean, yeah, I have camera here, so I can just do it. Let's see. So I'll do recovery Linux here, and I will do the image serve, okay? I can do it from here as well, it's okay. And what I will do is get back to this camera thing. Yeah. So this is like what was running. I'll put it in recovery, like click reset and leave reset, but click the button. And if I did it enough, then yeah, then it would do this nice thing here. Let's see if I can actually see it. And we have like the images, and here we see like the logo that I put. I can do VNC to it, but I just want to wrap up the image. And the flickering, I don't know, it's because of the camera, it's because there is something like to cover like the screen. Just live with it, okay? But I can go ahead, install this one, it does the description, this is exactly what I had installed, and it works because I customized Torizon Easy Toradex installer to just work with it. So there it is. Very professional marketing material. And after installing it, you will see what you saw at the beginning of the video. So at the beginning of the video, what you saw was essentially, you know, the results, like the splash screen and the Docker container. So that's about it. And I hope that you find it useful. And I really hope that it recorded well. I mean, I am trying to make it like short and sweet, but you know, sometimes things take time. So yeah, it's a good opportunity if you're not interested in technology to learn some languages, right? So yeah, so having said that, it's a 72%. So I'll just let it run to 100 to give like the complete picture. I think also put like a very nice logo. Yeah, this is not my handwriting this time. I'm sorry. And you can see, but it says like the name of like the images, like the PSCG Torizon showing Plymouth and rootfs putting to Western plus Chromium kiosk Docker chain. This is what I put here. So it's like on 92, and this is me just putting some other graphics. I just took GIMP and colored this transparent PNG. So coloring it doesn't do like the job. And all right. And now it's going to say, hey, image is installed. Yeah, I want to reboot. And then it will reboot and everybody will be happy. Now, as I mentioned, Toradex or NXP has a bug. So it takes time for Plymouth to boot, but I did it, good enough. So Plymouth will show like with my changes, I don't know, after like 10, 15 seconds and not after something else. So to recap, we're finishing with what we showed at the beginning, and that's it. So yeah, so this is what we have here. So thank you for watching if you watched, and if you found it useful, please let me know. Bye bye.